Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all to our online class of class 9th physics. So till now we had discussed a lot of things in chapter motion. We had already discussing the chapter motion and done lots of things. Discussion of the motion, that is the physical quantities. We had discussed the five physical quantities which we have to study in this chapter. That also we had discussed. Sorry. Okay, now today I came up with a topic that is one of the very important or most important topic, that is graphical representation of motion. It means how we can represent the motion graphically. Okay, before starting this topic, let us first of all discuss something about motion. As I have written over here, let us first discuss something about graph. Sorry, not motion, graph. That its definition, understanding, how can we draw the graph, where to graph, where to draw the graph, etc. Without getting into more complications, let us simply define a graph. Okay, it means like we can define the graph where it means a lot of different ways. There are many complicated things also related to the graph, but we are not discussing that part over here. We are simply discussing the graph over here. That is, a graph is a diagram showing a relationship between any two or more things, that is showing the variation or dependence of the things. Okay, now directly moving on. And the graphs, examples of the graphs are pie chart, bar graph, histogram, line graph, etc. In this chapter, we are going to show the graphical representation of motion using the line graph. Okay, we have to discuss basically line graph in this chapter. We are going to discuss. I think you people must have studied about line graph in your class 8 also, and many things you must learn from there. Also, line graph. Okay, now let us discuss something about line graph. Line graph is a graph which shows the relation between two quantities. It actually shows the variation of one quantity depending upon the other by a line. It means with the help of line we can show the variations of the first quantity with the others. It means as we do the changes in one quantity, then how does the other quantity changes, that we can show with the help of the line. And the line can be either straight line also and can be a curved line also. Okay, we can draw a line graph from an equation. For all the line graphs, there must be an equation of two variables. Yes, if you go through the equations, it means the relation between the equations and the graph, then you get to know that for each and every graph, line graph, there must be some equations between two variables, because we always draw the graphs between two variables, line graph, like the two quantities on a 2D plane in the Cartesian coordinate system that you people must have studied in class 10th. If you had studied line graph chapter properly, then you must have studied about these things. Okay, now graph of linear equations in two variable will always be a straight line. As we know, the general equation of a straight line is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. We all know about because linear equations in one variable you have to study in your class 8, but here I am discussing about the linear equations in two variable. That is out of your syllabus, but still I am discussing. It's not a very complicated thing, it's a very simple thing. You can see I had discussed its general form over here, that is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. From this equation we can get, it means after this converting this equation we can get it means bringing all ax and c that side, that will become minus ax and minus c, and then dividing this b with all the and separating, then we can get this form y is equal to minus a by bx plus minus c by b. Okay, so why I had done this, actually I just try to show this. It means from the linear equations in two variables, from its general form also we can get one of the very important equation of a straight line, that is the slope intercept form. So I just want to correlate with that, and since I have to introduce the idea of the slope also with you people, that's why I had done this. Okay, moving slowly one by one all the things. So now we can say, you can see here that which equation I had converted the back. I had written it that again. The equation y is equal to minus a by b ax plus minus c by b will resemble one of the well known form of a straight line, that is slope intercept form. Okay, now what is the slope intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope, m is equal to slope, and c is the intercept. Okay, that I'll show in the graph that what are these things. We will not go in much more detail about these things, but the simple ideas must be introduced with us. Okay, so I will do that things only. So don't get scared that what is slope, sir, what you are talking about, what is intercept. Okay, so don't start thinking like this. Just move slowly with me, and I hope so that everything you will get understand at the end of this video lecture. Okay, now just moving on comparing the above two equations, we get m is equal to minus a by b and c is equal to c. Here the capital C I had written here, the capital C is representing the intercept. Okay, these two equations, this and this, on comparing we get m is equal to minus a by b and c is equal to. So we had expressed the slope and intercept of a line in terms of coefficient of variables and constant terms. It means we had tried to express the slope and intercept in terms of the coefficient of the variables and its constant term. We had done that. Okay, now just this, what is the slope and what is this intercept? I just used one of the graph and tried to make you understand about this thing. You can see here, this is your line graph, this is the line graph, and this is the coordinate system we are using, xy coordinate system, we can call it also Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, I'm not going to discuss more about this thing because you people have already discussed these things in your class 8. So this is a line graph, okay, and this is making an angle theta with the positive x-axis. Okay, it means the direction I'm telling you. So this distance from here to here, from origin to this distance where it is cutting the y-axis, this is actually called the intercept, or you can call it y-intercept basically. Okay, so this is your theta. When the theta will get associated with tan, then we'll call it a slope. So slope is represented by m, and m is equal to tan theta. Okay, one of the thing I had used here which you don't had studied yet, but no issues, don't think a lot, simply remember this thing that slope of a line will be expressed with the help of tan theta. It means whatever angle that line is going to form, just you put tan with that angle and you'll get the slope. Nothing more than that you have to study about the tan theta. Or don't think that you have to study whole trigonometry over here. Please don't start thinking like that. Simply remember this, that the slope of a line, if somebody will ask you, then what you will tell? So you'll tell simply the slope of a line is a tan of the angle formed by the line with the positive x-axis. Okay, now let us move on. See, I'm not taking the angle like this, so then it will be like negative axis. Actually I am taking it like this. Okay, now moving on, distance time graph. Now directly after this type of discussion, we can just move on to distance time graph. The change in the position of an object with time can be represented on the distance time graph adopting a convenient scale of choice. Convenient scale of choice, it means like to represent the data on the axis, we can just use our convenient scale. Like if we are going to represent the 1 meter with 1 centimeter, it means like we are going to represent 1 kilometer with 1 centimeter, like that the choice of a scale it is talking about. So these things were already discussed with you people in your class 8 scale and all. Okay, in this graph, distance will be taken along y-axis and time will be taken along the x-axis. We will see distance time graph under various conditions where object move with uniform speed, non-uniform speed, remain at rest, etc. Okay, now one by one we'll see 3 cases: when the object is moving with uniform speed, when the object is moving with non-uniform speed, and when the object is at rest. So 3 things we are going to discuss in this video right now. Okay, before that, since I had talked we had a conversation about the tan theta and the slope, so I would like to, okay, let us continue, then I'll just introduce more about the tan theta. Okay, so let us discuss this case 1. When the body moves with uniform speed, then the distance traveled by the object or body is directly proportional to time. That is, when a body is moving uniformly, it means it will cover equal distances in equal interval of time, so it means the distance is proportional to the time, so that we are using. And when the proportionality things will be there, the graph will be a straight line passing through the origin. It's a graph of y is equal to x type, okay, like distance is equal to t, and this type of graph we'll get it. So this is the graph of distance time graph. Okay, that's for uniform speed. A graph of distance traveled against time is a straight line as shown in the diagram. So this is your graph. Now let's move on. Okay, now one of the thing I had to just find out and show you people. From figure we get a right angle triangle ABC. You can see the right angle triangle ABC here. I had shown it and shown its perpendicular and base also, that is S2 minus S1 and T2 minus T1. Now let us try to find out its tan theta. Actually, how we can find out the tan theta? Okay, still don't get it means panic or like get confused that sir how you are calculating tan theta. Please keep one thing in your mind, that the perpendicular by base in a right angle triangle, if you take the ratio of perpendicular to the base, then that is equal to tan theta. That's it. Just keep one thing in your mind. When you take in a right angle triangle, when you take the ratio of perpendicular to the base, so that is only your tan theta. So that only I had done here. Tan theta is equal to P by B is equal to BC by AC. See here BC and AC, the value of value is S2 minus S1 and T2 minus T1. BC by AC, I had substituted the values S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. So S2 minus S1 is actually distance and T2 minus T1 is the time taken to cover that distance between A to B. So it means that it is actually denoting the distance by time. So this is the velocity. Okay, now, but tan theta is equal to slope. Yes, we know that tan theta is equal to slope. We had already discussed. So slope of distance. So from here we can conclude that slope of distance time graph gives us velocity. So this is one of the very important thing you need to remember. Slope of a distance time graph gives us velocity. Okay, case 2, when a body is moving with non-uniform speed. So this is the nature of the graph. It will be a curved line, and this name of this graph is called parabola. You will study about these things in your higher classes, so I'm not discussing much more about this. So simply you just take a distance time graph of a non-uniform speed, body moving with non-uniform speed. So this will be the nature of the graph. The nature of the graph will be a curved line for non-uniform speed. Okay, the last case, that is case 3rd, when the body is in rest. So when the body is in rest, this is the graph. It simply shows that the graph is, this line is the graph. Okay, don't get confused, this line is the graph. So this is parallel to the time axis. So the graph will be a straight line parallel to the time axis. I hope so. The content must be clear with you people. I had tried my well. If still you people have any problems, then you can ask in your comments. And that's it. Let us end our session, today's session. Thank you all. See you next class.